Hey, it's John from Tinderbox Arts. So this is a quick review of the Merlin Alton leather motorcycle jacket. And there's a story behind this, and there almost always is when I take my camera out. But the main thing for me was sizing. And man, I looked all over for this jacket. So I'll describe some of my issues here, and then we'll go into depth in this jacket. So my main problem was sizing when I'm trying to find a leather jacket. Now I was just looking for a basic black leather motorcycle jacket. I did want armor. That was a big thing for me. And I wanted it to be fairly thick. I didn't want a cheap, thin, jacket. I didn't want to spend a lot because I'm cheap. And I wish I had venting so that I could wear this, in multiple seasons rather than just cooler seasons. But I was willing to take what I could get to a certain degree, but sizing was an issue. Now, the size that I got here is a 38. Now, motorcycle sizing is all over the map. So the 38 refers to basically a British/American size 38. However, it's really hard to tell anymore what anything means. There's European sizing, which if this were a European size, it would be a size 48, I guess. But, it really doesn't mean that much anymore. And almost all the time, you have to try on the garment to know what the size really is. Now, as I step back here, one main issue for me has been the cut of the jacket. And actually, I'm looking at the camera here, and this video doesn't really show what I'm trying to get across, so I'll describe it. But, the torso of the jacket in an American cut tends to be very boxy, and it's called a box cut. And a European cut, if you want to call it that, tends to be, brought in on the sides a little bit. And, the bottom here is not the same cut as the top. It's tapered to some degree. And that was the kind of fit that I was looking for, that tapered or slim fit, not the American boxy fit. And that was a real problem because if I found a size that was supposedly the right one for my chest and shoulders, the boxiness on the bottom here would be so big on me that it became an issue. It just looked stupid. So that was what I was looking for over and over again. And this does fit that bill. So the tapered sides here, it's more of a so-called European cut. And the other problem is the length from the bottom here to the shoulders is not super long. So it's kind of a shorter cut. Not above the belt line, but I didn't want it, to sit on the jacket when I'm on the bike either. So that problem was solved as far as the fit. Now, as far as venting, which was another one of my big things, this one does not have a lot. So it has these two zippers across here, which is more of a styling exercise than anything else. These are YKK zippers, and they are good quality metal zippers. I'm trying to do this one-handed here. So this top one here is a vent of sorts, but man, I'm not sure how much good it's going to do because there's no venting on the back. So ideally you have some kind of opening on the back, and this one has no opening whatsoever. So how much venting this will provide remains to be seen. I haven't actually ridden with it yet, but I'm not thinking too much. This bottom zipper here is a pocket. Now it's nice having a pocket on the outside to keep valuables while you're riding. But, as far as venting, I had to kind of give that one up because there's not a lot of venting here. My other big thing was branding. I hate when you have big, brands across the back here or on the shoulders or whatever. And, I really didn't want any branding at all. I ended up with this, patch right here, which you can see from the size of my thumb. The patch is not huge, but it is there. So, if that's what I have to live with, that's what I have to live with. It is sewn on, so I think if you wanted to take it off, you probably could, but it would leave, marks in the leather. So I guess I'm just going to leave it. So that was the compromises I had to make. It doesn't have all the venting I would want. It has a little bit of logo, but not too bad. I want to get good and close here on the zippers and all the stitching and everything. So you can see the quality zippers here. I'm doing this one-handed, sorry. It's decent sized pocket here. It's not, it's going to fit your hand. It's not going to fit much more than that. Up here, as I showed you, the two pockets I think are really more for looks than anything else. On the shoulder, you have this stitching here, which looks nice. These are not really functional for any reason. It's just more a styling exercise. If you look on the inside of the sleeve, you can see there's, a patch of leather here, another one here, and it's sewn together so that the sleeve does have a slight, it's bent slightly, so it's ready for the riding position. The armor is CE rated armor. It's in here down to here, so it's mostly your, from your elbow down that the armor protects. It does have shoulder protection as well, and that is from down this section on up, has the shoulder protection. It has a spot to put the spine protector in, but it doesn't include one. As far as other details, the bottom here with the zipper, this is Velcro. And, it would be nice to have a snap there instead of Velcro, but it's okay. That's not the end of the world. The sleeves, the end here has two snaps, so if you want to make it tighter, you can, and a zipper. So the sleeves here do not have a web, completely between the two sides, but it does have a little bit of leather there so that, if wind is coming in the zipper, you'll have some protection, but it doesn't go all the way over. And there is a lining, it's a smooth lining on the inside. Seems pretty nice. I don't have any complaints about that. And actually, you can just make out the pocket there for the armor. So the leather itself, try to get a good spot here. I'm trying to get nice and close. It's not shiny. It's more of a matte finish. It's nice. It feels soft. It probably will mark up a little bit, I'm guessing, over time, but nothing, objectionable. And, the dye, as far as the blackness, is nice. It's a nice looking jacket as far as the color and the texture of the leather. Now, up here on the top by the collar, you see you get a snap and two different snaps here, which are fairly well placed, I think. The inside, is leather right here. And there's just the hook thing there, but nothing else. And on the inside here, there is you can see it right here. It's a vest, really. It doesn't go, it's thermal lining, but it doesn't go all the way down into the sleeves. It's just a vest. If I open this up, you can see, here's the edge of the vest right here. It's got a nice little plaid design there, which is nice. It gives you a little Merlin logo, whatever. It doesn't go all the way down to the end of the jacket. It ends a little bit sooner than that. But it's enough to provide a little bit of extra warmth, but it's not going to make a huge difference as far as, winter riding or something like that. But it's nicely done. It zips out using the zipper here. So, all very typical. Here's a close-up of the liner here. There is one pocket which has Velcro. And I'm actually not sure I like that Velcro, but again, trying to do this one-handed. So, I could probably do without the Velcro. And, you see the zipper comes around, and we'll take this out. Now, if I flip this over, let me just get this out of the way. So you can see here, this is the pocket for the back protector. They give you, it's an insert. It's really more a placeholder than anything else, so it's not going to provide any actual protection for you, but there is that little placeholder. It's just a foam back thing that they throw in there. But you'll need to get a real CE rated one if you're concerned about it. It does have this mesh lining in the torso area, but in the sleeves, it has that quilted lining. And over here, this is going to be your left side. It has a pocket with leather on the edges here, and it's not Velcroed. And, that is welcomed. And then, it has that typical belt thing here on the bottom. I've never used these, but, some people like them, I guess, so they include that. So it's all very typical as far as the construction, really. As far as other details, on the side here, there is kind of a little half-belt thing, right? And it comes over to two options for snaps. So you can make that, bottom a little narrower, the waist a little narrower if you want. And like I said, the back has nothing on it. It does drop down slightly, so you have a little bit more coverage in the back. The collar, in the back is not overly tall, but it's not short either. I think it's well done as far as that. And like I said, the look, it's not worn, but it looks, you know, it doesn't look brand new either. A lot of leather jackets, new ones, have a very shiny, kind of a waxy look to it. This doesn't have that at all. It has just a nice matte finish, and like I said, the leather's soft, and it feels like it's a little bit broken in, but you know, there's no scuff marks or anything like that on it. Now the price point of this thing, I paid $350. I bought this at Revzilla. And as far as I know, there's only 1 or 2 places in America that you can buy this right now. But for $350, you know, it's a well-made jacket. In the scheme of things, I know you can spend $600 or $800 without blinking on a leather jacket. You know, I'd rather see it more like $300, but you know, for the extra 50 bucks, at least I got the size I wanted, which is hard to find. Now, as far as sizing, I am 5'5", I'm 140 pounds. So the 38 fit me very well. Now I have a fairly big chest. In a suit jacket, I wear a 39 short. So this is a 38, and it might be a little bit tight across the chest, but nothing awful. But it fits snug like it should. I mean, a motorcycle jacket should be a snug fitting garment. You don't want it flapping in the breeze. So as far as sizing, it's as good as it gets for me. Now, other people, you know, may feel differently. If you're especially tall, or if you have a long torso, maybe this would be a problem. I don't know. But for me, which I would guess I have a normal to maybe slightly short torso, it really worked out well. And the belt line is right where it should be. So I'm pleased about that. So overall, I like the jacket. It might be slightly more money than I wanted to spend. I wouldn't mind having some other features as far as venting. But, you know, I really can't complain too much. It's a great jacket. Style-wise and you know, quality, I have no complaints about that. So, you know, it is what it is. So for 350 bucks, I'd say this is worth a look anyway, especially if you want more of a tapered or slim fit rather than the boxy American fit, which is much more common these days.